Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Friday, July 25th, 2024. Let's take a look at the Forex economic calendar for today. Friday, July 25th, 2025. What do we have here? Asian session quite easy with data release. Tokyo core CPI was unexpected, and CPI Tokyo excluding food and energy up from minus 0.4 to 0.1%. Core retail sales and retail sales data disappoint from the UK, disappoint the market participants completely, and we are still waiting for the German data, business expectations, current assessment, and IFO business climate index. All of this data are scheduled for this at 10 o'clock. Interest rate decision in Russian Federation today at 12:30, and then we enter the US session. Core durable good orders and durable good orders are scheduled for release at 2:30. The wholesale sales from Canada are scheduled for release at 2:30 as well. Atlanta Fed GDP now from the US is scheduled for release at 5:30, and that's about it. So that's the last data from the US session. Yes, that's about it. So without any further ado, let's switch to the technical part. We start with euro dollar. As we mentioned yesterday, the 4-hour time frame chart of the euro dollar is showing us some sort of the weakness across the board. However, we got new local high, because marginal high 1.1789, but it's still the major level for intraday traders ahead of the supply zone. As we noticed before, the market went lower to almost test the 100 periods moving average, which is located at 1.1702, bounced had slightly, and now after the intraday decision of the ECB, that was yesterday, the market is consolidating in very tight range as the momentum is coming off the extremely overbought conditions. Right now momentum is at the level of 57 points. So basically, with this little movement to the downside and nice movement down in the momentum, the market might be ready to move higher. So please be aware of this situation. After the UK data, we retraced, as we said yesterday, 50% of this last swing down. Yeah, we traced 50%, and now we have the reversal in progress, deep down from the extremely overbought conditions, down below the level of 50, now 39 points only. So right now we won't need anything here in form of the let's say Fibonacci retracement, as the Fibonacci is played beautifully in that situation. Now the current assessment is that we are going to continue lower, which is why I'm changing all of these levels to technical resistance level, except this two, because that maybe this one as intraday technical support. 1.3461 might act actually as the nice level for the bulls. Nevertheless, we are already below 100 periods moving average, below the old technical resistance. Momentum reversed sharply to the downside, so this market is under the bearish control, and lower level are expected. Gold market. The gold market is still trading above the trend line, the orange trend line, very close to the 100 periods moving average, but we are now below the technical support. Now this is the resistance, 3,374. Because of the weak momentum and the room to the downside before we hit the extremely oversold conditions, the market is expected to move lower and then bounce from this trend line. So that's the scenario. We move lower and bounce from the trend line, right? So now the trend line play is the key play for the market participants. It's either to hold it or to break it. Okay, so please be careful, please be aware of the situation. We got two major scenarios, and for now upside scenario is being supported, because this trend line has been tested many times. The market sees this trend line, and it looks like the market participants, traders, will be testing this trend line, and bounce will occur as it did 2 times before. Only a sustained breakout below the trend line might be a little bit dangerous for the bulls, but the room to the downside is not that big, so maybe this level here, 3,309, will be enough after the breakout below the trend line. That's the negative scenario, which is less likely. Most likely is the test scenario, bounce from the trend line and movement to the upside. Bitcoin. The Bitcoin unfortunately broke below the level of technical support, so now we will just there you go, we will just zoom in. Bitcoin was unable to move higher, which is why we see the market moving towards the extremely oversold conditions. There is still a room to the downside here on the RSI. There is still room to the downside here, possibly even $112,000 technical support will be tested if this candle won't hold, because we broke below the demand zone. As the market consecutive move after the all-time high, it made lower high. This is the lower high than this one, and the lower high than this one. So 4 lower highs, 1 questionable, 4 to 1 means down we go. And then we have the breakout. Now all of these levels will now change to technical resistance, but please wait for this candle to close, and please wait for the daily candle to close. We might see very quick movement towards 112,000 and a bounce, and then obviously that's the positive scenario, or even we might see today a bounce to the upside and movement back above the 100 periods moving average, right? So if the Bitcoin is doing this kind of a thing, what is the Ethereum doing? Well, the Ethereum doesn't do much. We are still closed in this very tight area. We retrace of obviously almost 10%. Almost 10%. We retraced like let me just take a look. We retraced like 850, and there is still some kind of a technical support here, waiting for the bulls to be tested. Nevertheless, it looks like the dips are being bought with the neutral momentum, so the chances are that we will see another swing to the upside on the Ethereum, despite the fact that the Bitcoin is moving lower these days. So this correction might look like it's not a part of this movement to the upside anymore, because it is the biggest correction in price and time. So there is some sort of the overbalance, and the market is right now correcting this very strong and powerful and dynamic movement to the upside towards 3,820 and at 56. So it's a time for a correction, for a range trading. When we are done with this, then of course the market might move higher and continue the uptrend. If we take a look at the daily time frame chart of the Ethereum, we can clearly see that the trend is up. Right now, a little bit of the correction is taking place. All right, and last but not least, let's do something exotic. So something that we haven't seen in quite some time: Australian dollar. Now, the daily time frame chart of the Australian dollar is showing us a very steady movement to the upside. You know, it's almost a sideways market, occasionally bouncing from the technical support and so on. But yesterday, if we take a look here, let me just place my line first, because there you go. Okay, let's move this. Take a look at the yesterday candle. Look at this. We have a perfect signal of a shooting star, right? And today we have a confirmation. The bulls are still in charge of this market. However, the momentum, as you can see, is not very big. Nevertheless, the bulls are in charge of this market, and they are pushing these prices higher. 6,627 is the recent technical resistance and the swing high. Where can we go? As at least towards 6,457. This is the technical support. And now let me just zoom out. Now the situation looks like this. Very interesting progression after this V-shaped reversal. Steadily, peacefully, the market keeps grinding higher towards the new local and swing highs. As you can see, occasionally some kind of a dips is being performed on the Australian dollar. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Take care and bye bye.